can now come to this organization and have it be a repository of information about you. A community that for the last 10 years has had to deal with being defined by other people. And ISPU has stood as a firewall to that onslaught about being defined by others.
We're part of a core group of organizations that regularly inform policy related to Muslim communities, and of that group, we are the only ones producing research. In order for policy to change, data is needed. ISPU is the only organization providing this type of information on the Muslim community.
We've changed, the country has changed, but over the past 10 years, ISPU has thrived. Organizations have come and gone, but we have grown.
First and foremost, I found that the ISPU folks involved are genuine. They're dedicated and they're passionate. And you see this in the articles, the policy briefs, and the studies that they produce. And secondly, we are living in a time when, well, we've all heard of the information age, but I like to call it, when it comes to us Muslims, the misinformation age.
All of you have to be involved. And I think that in many ways that's a little scary. You've been challenged by things like the nonsense that came after 9/11. But I think the most important thing now is to engage in rebuilding America.
The ability to be able to convey our message of facts, the reality about who we are. And we have spent a decade with ISPU producing the documentation, so when you ask that question, you have facts.
So I wrote and again, it's going back to what ISPU does with information, right? I said, I have more information than most screenwriters here. I know these issues. If you want to write about terrorism that's coming out of Muslim communities, I can write about that, but in a way that's accurate and reflecting what's really happening and what the community is really about, actually. So I wrote a script in 2001 about, it was a hypothetical script about what would happen in the United States if there had been a major terrorist attack to our legal system. Dick Wolf, the creator of Law & Order, was going to do a miniseries that was going to tie in all the TV shows, Law & Order, SVU, Criminal Intent, bring all the shows together on this epic one-week miniseries about a hypothetical terror attack on New York City and how the different groups work together to solve who did it, right? And so they called me and they said, we read your script and, we're doing this miniseries and, the villains are going to be Muslim, but you actually have a really sophisticated understanding of what motivates Al-Qaeda and these other groups and how it's different from what Muslims really are about. We want to bring your perspective in. The meeting to meet the producers of Law & Order, the actual big shots who were going to make the decision if I was going to be working on the show, was dated for the week of September 11, 2001. Whoa. Okay? That meeting was canceled, if you can imagine. The very thing that was making me this interesting new guy who could bring information was suddenly anathema. Everyone was afraid of it. It was almost impossible for me to get work in the next 2 years because I suddenly became labeled as the Muslim guy. And actually nobody wanted the information. They were afraid of it. The people here are true Muslims. They're working. They're not seeking personal aggrandizement. They're not seeking to create conflict or to create drama. They're seeking to educate. They are the only ones who can provide the information that will counter this new effort of manipulated information that's being sent to us.
I want you to take a moment just to celebrate the great work that has been done. If you look in the program book, you're going to see the recent achievements. To say to yourselves tonight, those of you who are here, who are supporting ISPU and have been a part of this legacy, I want you to give yourselves and ISPU a round of applause.